Hello everybody and welcome to this new pick a card reading. My name is Ellie, and if you're new here, welcome. It's such a pleasure to receive you on my channel. But in this video today you will not see my face, and that's because I'm not currently at my home, but I'm at my parents-in-law's home until I get settled in my camper for the summer. But I hope that you're all doing great and that you're having an amazing spring so far in this corner of the world you find yourself at, wherever it may be. So today this is a timeless reading, but at the time that I'm filming this, it's almost Mother's Day by now, and I have many new moms and moms to become in my family as well as in my surroundings. So I just thought to myself that it would be such a great idea to craft a reading around this energy for you guys today. So let me just say happy Mother's Day to all of the moms and mothers out there. So today's reading will all be about your child, whether that's one that you already have or a future child that is not into this world yet. It's going to be just for fun, you guys, and we're going to explore their personality, their spiritual journey here on earth, the person they will grow to become, the spiritual gifts that they were given at birth, as well as some parenting advice for you about this specific child, how you may best deal with them or what you can expect with them, basically. So now, before I present to you the piles, let me remind you all that this is just a general reading as usual. Therefore, it won't resonate with just everybody, and that's because this reading was crafted to resonate with the people that it is meant to reach. So don't forget that I'm just a tarot reader and human being just like you, and therefore I have an ego too, you guys. And so this means that my interpretations of the cards today, although they come from my heart to yours and from the best of intentions, they are still not the absolute. So please take in what resonates and leave behind the rest. So I will now ask you all to tune in with your heart and with your intuition, and to ask your spirit guides, your ancestors, your higher self to help you pick up the pile meant for you. It's really important that you choose today with your intuition and not with your personal preferences for a more accurate reading. All right, you guys? And by the way, those pages are not related to the astrological birth sign of your child. So even if you know their sun sign, I suggest you to still pick the pile you intuitively feel drawn towards. So for pile 1, we have this little cute Page of Cups here. And then for pile 2, we have the Page of Swords, the badass little dude here. Then for pile 3, we have this little gentle Page of Pentacles. And then for pile 4, we have the stunning Page of Wands. And I also want to mention to you guys as well that the gender doesn't mean anything. So you can pick any pile, even though you will have a girl or a boy, it doesn't even matter. But just pick the energy of the child you feel most drawn towards intuitively, all right? And once you have made that choice, head down into the description box down below and click on the timestamp associated with your pile, and this will fast forward the video and take you on your reading. So I will now offer a 30 seconds meditation to help you tune in with the energy of this reading and of each individual pile. So if you are ready for the meditation, please find a comfortable position where you can relax and tune in with your higher self and spirit guides and ask them to lend their guidance to you and assist you in choosing the right pile. So let's call in the spirits of this sacred space and let's begin. Watch out for your ears, everybody who is wearing headphones. Hello, Pal One, and welcome to your reading. So today we are taking a look at who your child will be, whether they have come into this world yet or not. So we will take a look at their personality, their spiritual path here, and as well as their personal gifts. So if you're ready, let's get started. Now, you guys felt drawn by this little page of cups here, and this card is telling me so much already about the personality of that child, as well as how your child will approach every new beginnings in their life. And what I see right away is that this is someone that will approach new beginnings in this very sort of flowy, flexible, extremely sensitive and heart-driven way. I already imagine them sort of trapped in their own inner world a lot of the time, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but out of all the other pages that I presented during the past selection, this is the only one that isn't looking directly at us. It seems like this page here is more concerned with that little fish that is flying out of her cup. So this tells me that this is someone here that has this huge imagination and sense of wonder and creative side to them, that will need to be developed, supported, and encouraged for sure. I feel that this is to a point to where you could worry a little bit about them sometimes, and I feel that this is because this is someone that will spend a lot of the time caught in their own inner world in solitude. They may have just a very few close friends that they know that they can count on, but most of the time they may seem a little bit lonely or maybe even a little bit absent. You may feel as though as you're talking to them sometimes, it's like they're not even looking into your eyes. They're just lost in this sort of ethereal, or lost in the clouds, or lost in the moon almost. And I know that this sounds strange, but oh my God, I really have to say it because I'm picking up on it so strongly. Sorry, this is my first video of the day, so my mouth is still a little bit dry. Yeah, but this could be a child that learns how to talk or speak a little bit later than most children. And I don't know why I'm feeling that. This is so strange. But that's something that I'm picking up here, is that some parents or some future parents who have chosen this path, some of you may worry because there might be something coming a little bit late about this child, like maybe that they may start to talk a little bit later or walk a little bit later. But don't worry though, if that's the case. That's one thing that I'm hearing here clearly for you. But yeah, coming back to what I was saying. This child may seem isolated or a little bit caught in their own inner world sometimes, but I feel that at the same time, they need it to be this way for their development. You may realize very early on that they have this very overreactive mind and imagination, and you may suspect that they even see things that other people don't seem to see, or know things that they shouldn't know, almost, to where you may catch them talking to themselves very, very, very often, or to where you may catch them lost in their inner world again, staring at who God knows what above your shoulder or up in the air or up at the wall, and it's like, what the hell is this child seeing again that we don't see? And I also really see this child being the type to have imaginary friends, because this is a very, very, very spiritual child, though. That is one thing that I'm picking up strongly about their energy. They were born already aware that there is more to this world than what we can perceive with our physical senses. And that's what I meant by this child is extremely sensitive. They are extremely sensitive on a spiritual level and also on an emotional level as well. And I feel that most definitely their biggest gift will be clairsentience for sure. This means that they are going to be able to feel what you feel and what everybody else feels in the family and in their environment. So for sure, it will be difficult to hide anything from this child because they're going to know when something is wrong or when someone is not doing well. Pawan. This is a child that is going to have a heart of gold, always giving, always sharing, always thinking about how their friends feels, and how the person bullied feels, and how the homeless feels, and how the pet or the animals feel. I even imagine them bringing up stray animals back home, being like, "Mommy, Daddy, can we keep it? Mommy, Daddy, can we bring home the man who is sleeping outside? Mommy, Daddy, why is there poverty? Why are people killing each other? Why do people eat little cute sensitive animals?" Like, I feel that this is a child with such a high EQ, such a high level of emotional intelligence and awareness. They are going to have big emotions to feel and to express, and they are going to live life in this sea of emotions. So I want to warn you about that already. They are going to flow in this sea of emotions that is going to run them, and big emotional needs as well. Like, I'm already seeing this child having their heart broken a couple of times in their life and being devastated after their first breakup, and you having to pick up the pieces back up with them multiple times. Their emotions will need to be nurtured and understood and validated, often by you, Pawan. They will need that emotional presence for sure, that empathy from you to feel loved for sure. This is probably the most important thing to understand about them. And I feel that this is the type of child that will really care about that emotional bonding and emotional security overall, over everything else. And you may want to prepare them and give them the space to process their emotions when they have to go through these sorts of very impactful events in their life, because they're going to feel that on a very big scale, a scary big scale sometimes. And no, they are not dramatizing nor exaggerating. This is truly how they will feel it. So what I mean by that is that if they move home or go through the divorce of their parent, or change school, or go through the death of a pet or a family member, big life-changing events like that, it may impact them emotionally on such a scale. You are going to be worried sometimes, Pawan. I won't lie, but this is normal, because our children are their own person, right? And so we cannot protect them from their own feelings. And sometimes you're going to be worried because you're going to feel like you can't always protect them from the big, cold, harsh realities of the world. But you have to understand that this is a sensitive child that you have, but not a weak child. This is a strong-ass child. And those experiences will shape such an extraordinary, selfless human being out of your child. And so you will have to let them cry and get angry and get hurt. Their sensitivity will transform into a powerhouse as they grow. They will become such a compassionate and empathic force in this world. But they will just walk through life being sort of this antenna for everybody else's emotions, and they're going to absorb that like a sponge sometimes. They will be this powerful empath within the family, hence their incredible compassion and ability to understand what it feels like to place themselves in someone else's shoes, even a complete stranger. So that's why it will be important to teach them the sacredness and importance of boundaries, of letting go, while also supporting them in feeling everything that they need to feel without shutting them down or invalidating them. All right, this is so important, because this is someone who is not going to grow up much realistic or much logical. They will grow up creative and imaginative. They will grow up right brain, to where their intelligence will be extremely intuitive and emotional. That's how I feel it with this Page of Cups. But yeah, let's take a look at your child's spiritual journey here on earth and the amazing human being that they are going to become out of your tarot cards. So we have here the World. Then we have the Page of Peppermills, and that's also known as the Page of Wands in a traditional tarot deck, because that's a little Alice in Wonderland tarot here that I'm using today. I thought that it would be fitting for doing a child reading. Then we have the Page of Flamingos, and this one is reversed, and that's the Page of Swords reversed. And then finally we have the Knight of Peppermills, so the Knight of Wands. So a lot of exciting, exuberant energy about this person here. So exactly, I feel that this is not a child that is going to understand the world through that logical lens with the Page of Swords being reversed, but rather from anything is possible outlook with this Page of Wands. I also want to say that with all of these pages and this Knight being present here and the World card, this is someone with an incredibly big purpose here that they will feel very connected to, starting at a very young age, and so much so that they may feel overwhelmed by the pressure of that purpose and of their North Node throughout their life. It might feel like a balloon that keeps inflating and inflating and inflating, and it's like that pressure keeps accumulating. It's a very big job that they carry and that they have to accomplish here. And sometimes they will feel misunderstood or alone in that purpose. They will feel themselves connected to it early on, but it's going to feel difficult for them to identify this purpose though. I'm really sensing that with those cards. And I'm really sensing as well that this child is going to be on a journey of discovering what that purpose may be. Discovering themselves, what their gifts are and what they mean. I feel that since you are on this reading today, Pawan, you're going to be that big force in their life for when it comes to helping them, connecting to that, connecting to their clairsentience, to what it means for them to be an empath. Because this kid will be concerned about things way bigger than themselves. This is confirmed by the World card here. And they are going to feel like they are this tiny, grand grain of sand on the beach sometimes. And they will know that they are incredibly sentient and that they are a good person, but they may not know how to put that into the world, basically. And so they may look for themselves a lot and for their place inside the world quite a lot. That's why with this Knight of Wands and Page of Wands here, I'm seeing them starting a lot of projects, trying many different things and being on the move, staying busy quite a lot, moving to many different places, maybe even traveling a lot with this Knight of Wands, trying a dance class or painting class or learning the guitar and going in law school and then picking up a science class. They may change school program often or change field of interest often. But this is going to be very important, and it's going to be a defining moment in their life because I'm seeing them trying so many things, and through each of them getting to know what they like and what they don't like, what is for them and what is not for them. With this Page of Swords reversed, what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses, who they are and who they are not. They're going to change ideas a lot about the person that they want to become and the things that they want to pursue. But it's because well, I really see here that finding their meaning will be their big question and struggle in life for sure. It's going to be a part of their sort of spiritual contract here. So it's going to be that huge question that overcomes them as they grow up by your side. But they are going to have to learn that this experimental process is part of life. And it's not only a phase, but it might just be what life is all about. Try this on. They're going to need that space and chance to explore like that. Learning will be an extremely important theme in your child's life. And I just want to say that Well, I'm reading for a lot of different people here, right? So for some of you, your child may make all of those learning experiences and self-discovery process by spending a big part of their youth at school, maybe following multiple school programs. But for others of you, this feeling may translate into your child going off on their own and traveling the world. For others, it may be that this child will be constantly taking new classes, constantly researching on their own or teaching themselves new things. But learning will be important in this child's life for sure, with those pages being present here. Pages are students and learners in tarot, so learning will be important. Whether they go for that knowledge on a school branch or in the books that they read or in the wild new experiences that they're going to make in this world and with different people. I also want to say that this is an extremely open-hearted and open-minded person that they are going to become because of that. They may become knowledgeable in multiple fields of study or many different subjects, always surprising you with a new fact or with something new that they have learned or discovered lately. So they're going to be that explorer and discoverer for sure. And I also want to say that it's in this child's destiny to become first, to accomplish something for the first time, kind of. That maybe not a lot of people have gotten to accomplish within the family or within their environment in general. So for example, they may be the first to get a higher level of education, or the first to have a specific type of job, or maybe that they will be the first to not get married, or the first to live in a different country. There is this idea here of arriving first or being the first to come into some sort of uncharted territory with those cards within the family. The first to realize something that nobody else in the ancestry has accomplished, or at least for generations, which is interesting, and I wanted to mention that. But this child really has the destiny to become a trailblazer somewhere in their life. So let's see now some parental advice for your child. Parenting, I don't know how you say that. I'm so sorry, English is not my first language, as we have probably guessed it. But let's see what you will need to look out with this child, basically with your oracle cards. And we have here the card of prayer, which is associated with the plexus solar chakra, with that yellow color here. Then we have, look at that, we have impatience. And this is associated with the throat chakra, with that color blue. Then we have the gardener. Then we have new directions. Yeah, most definitely. I feel like this child is going to go on a whim quite often and go off and travel. There are big chances for that. Then we have celebrate life, and this card says, celebration is one of the best ways to experience life at its fullest. Cultivate an air of celebration this week through action and spirit. Create spaces that encourage play, laughter, and having fun. Invite others to join with you and take pleasure in their company. Savor the simple beauty that good food and good friends can bring. Yeah, for sure. I feel like they will be on that mission to celebrate life, basically, and to just make a blast out of every moment. So somehow people around your child may not feel like this is a very serious person, but actually it's because they will be chasing after that bigger meaning for life and after that the bigger source of joys out of their life. So I don't know if they might have a lot of fire energy in their chart, and a lot of water as well. It's not obliged to, but it's just something that I'm picking up here because I feel like it's going to be part of this child's journey to just create more joy, to create more fulfillment, to create more happiness, more bliss in their life. So sorry about that, you guys. I forgot that there were some extra oracle cards on the side that I didn't add up in the pile, but these ones were yours as well. And we have here the Lovers. And we have, oh, we have the Fool. Look how amazing that is. That's literally the vibe of your child, I feel, and the vibe of this pile. This card sums it up. Yeah, with this Lovers card, I feel like this child will either feel very attached to you, or they are going to be in need of a strong connection and emotional bond with you in order to really well develop. They may need more attention, more comforting, more presence, maybe even more closeness than most other children. They may even develop this sort of enmeshed relationship with you, or you may develop that towards them. And I see that cutting the umbilical cord for either one of you or both of you may be difficult at some point. You will especially feel that if you have other children. You may see that this one is in need of more guidance and a bit more protection. So it's funny because with this card of impatience and Fool, it may be difficult to keep this child's attention for very long. They really make me think of this sort of head in a cloud, dreamy type of person that might find it a little bit difficult to come back to earth and, you know, to find grounding in their life. To get back down into the reality, if you will. They may prefer the sensation of escaping in their mind or in their feelings or in their heart. And again, you may have to pick them up in the fall sometimes, because I feel that there is a little bit of that naive side to this child that you are going to be able to sense with this Fool card. And as much as it is their beauty, it's also what you're going to notice is what needs to be protected about them sometimes, so that they don't get taken advantage of, or so that they don't get too wounded. But at the same time, it makes them so freaking lovable and so freaking adorable. They may legit be like this Fool, you know, going back home with these flowers that they've just went out of their ways and into the bush to get them for you. They will be funny and adorable, but yes, a little bit of a charming child. And I see them becoming this very chipper, very hopeful, very optimistic person, very lively, very optimistic at their own risks sometimes. And I feel that this is why they will need your help and presence to ground them, to protect them with this kind of prayer. And I feel this is why they will need your help and presence to ground them, to catch them and protect them before they fall. Because I see some hard lessons in your child's life coming from falling from those very high clouds where, boom, reality hits them and steals their joy and their hopes all of a sudden. And I feel that it's going to be a tough lesson for them to have to accept that, to learn how to ground their big dreams and big ideals that they have for life into the concrete, real, tangible world that is not always fun, not always easy, not always loving and positive, not always pink, fluffy and butterflies, right? It will be your job to bring them back down sometimes, but to do so while not suppressing their need for high vibrational thinking. With this card of New Directions, I feel that this confirms the message that I was picking up about that child basically changing life direction every so often. And I feel that they are going to be carried by the wind like that, like on this card here. They will get carried wherever their heart leads them, basically. And like I've said, it may lead them to travel a lot, whether that's in their mind or in the world. They will need your validation that this is okay for them to do. Again, this is someone who is going to be extremely hard-driven here, and they even going to have this very pure personality about them. That's really what I feel with this Page of Cups, the Fool, and the Lovers. That's why, by the way, that the Fool has these white flowers in his hands. I don't know if you have noticed here on this card, but in the traditional tarot deck as well, the Fool is always holding these sorts of white flowers, which those flowers are basically a show of how pure of intent he is as a person, always wishing the best for others and out of life, someone that wouldn't hurt a fly in a sense. I also feel a lot of guardian angel sort of vibe with this kid in particular, almost like they will feel like this angel on earth type of person. With the lovers, they will even feel like your own guardian angel as you grow up older and as they take on the role of taking care of you later on in your older years. This is someone who is so loyal, so charming, and who will never let down someone that they love and care about. They will really show how much they care by being in this selfless service to others and to the world, is really what I feel about them and their life spent here. So this is an amazing person that you're going to raise, Pawen. And this is basically all that I'm seeing about the energy of your child, Pawen. I hope that you appreciated this reading, and I want to thank you so much for spending this time of your day with me. And for those of you who are curious to see my work, I do offer personal tarot readings online. So the link to my shops as well as my social medias will be down below in the description box. And otherwise, I hope to see you all again on the channel, because I have so many more pick a card readings like that to come soon. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye, guys. Hello, pal 2, and welcome to your reading. So today we're taking a look at who your child will be, whether they have come into this world yet or not. So we will take a look at their personality, their spiritual path here, as well as their personal gifts. So if you're ready, let's get started. Now, you guys felt drawn by this Page of Swords here. And this card is representative of the personality or core energy of that child, but also how your child will approach every new beginnings in their life. And what I see through it right away is that this is going to be quite a special little kid. I'm just looking at that little badass pirate flag here. So they will approach new beginnings in their life with a very curious, open-minded, and daring approach. I feel that they're going to have this little rebellious side that is going to show quite early on as well. Something about them will push them to sort of detach and become their own person quite early on by being in this defiant sort of energy or role. They may give you a little bit of trouble sometimes if you are someone who is very emotional, and that's because they are going to have that independent personality type, who will want to have a taste of their freedom probably early on, basically. There are experiences that they're going to go through early in life, I feel, that will sort of teach them that if they want to survive this world, then they need to become smart about it and ask questions, or even go off the beaten track and develop their own sets of opinions and thoughts outside of you, outside of their parents, outside of their community, and outside of their own conditioning, basically. So be ready, because this child is going to be thought-provocative. But at the same time, you're going to see rather quickly that they are so observant and that they are so intelligent, maybe even extremely witty and a bit too smart for their own good. So don't underestimate them, for sure. But one strong thing that I'm picking up with this card, though, is that they're going to be so curious and inquisitive as a child. It will probably drive you mad sometimes, because they will want to learn, know, and understand just about everything. And it needs to make sense for this child to sort of comply. So, you know, you can't just tell them to do as you say without them understanding why they have to do it in the first place, because then they will surely defy your authority, since they will take that as an act of tyranny, if that's the case. And I imagine them already being like, "Mommy, Daddy, why do we have to do this or do that? Why can't we touch the sky? Or why do we have to die?" do ants have souls? Stuff like that. And it's probably going to be tiring mentally to have to keep up with them or catch up to them sometimes, because you're going to have to think of a lot of answers and outsmart them almost at their own game. But I feel that those answers that you are going to give them, and the ways that you answer to this child is going to be so important and crucial to them, pal, too, because they will listen to you even if they don't always seem to be listening to you, and they will be registering all of that, and they will see the type of person that you are through it. And this is how basically they are going to from that draw their own conclusions and their own opinions. And this child's questions will really lead you to think deeper about the world, which is going to be such an enriching experience on your end. But this child is going to become so open, basically, out of that, open to the world, open to other people, open to different experiences, open to other cultures, and everything that is new and different. And they are going to seek that. So be ready to see them literally going towards people, going off on their own and wandering in the shop or in the store, and just ending up, meeting new friends within the next 2 minutes because of that. Because of that, though, I see them being able to make a lot of friends with just about anybody. Friends with neighbors, friends with a new kid, friend with a new popular kid, or the rejected kid at school even. That being said, this is a child that is going to need a lot of intellectual stimulation and communication from your end, pal, too. I feel that this is the love language that they are going to understand the most and seek from you the most. And that's the type of love language that they are going to give back to you too. So they might not feel as though they need as much mushes and as much physical contact and as much hugs than other kids. They may even feel a little bit more emotionally detached from you sometimes, or maybe even a little bit emotionally cold, but they will need to be able to talk to you and for you to talk to them and listen to them in order to open up really emotionally and to have those basically conversations back with them. It's going to be very important to pay attention to how you respond to them, because if you ignore them or don't answer to them or aren't giving what they have to say your interest, then I feel that this is where they are going to feel hurt and start to feel unimportant and sort of clam up and detach even more emotionally from their environment. I feel that this is what is going to make them want to shut down a bit more emotionally if that's the case. That's why I'm telling you that, so that you can pay attention to that. And it's interesting because I feel that when they are going to grow up into an adolescent or an adult, I haven't seen the rest of the cards yet, but I'm already picking up on the fact that your relationship with them may become very friendly, like a parent-friend sort of relationship. Or this could be what they seek from you, to play with them or talk to them on that sort of equal level outside of the parenting. So this is the type of kid that will not care if you're flawed. Genuinely, they will not care about that, because they want to see the real you, not a perfect, got it all figured out, know all of the answers you see. And I feel that they're going to love that if you can sometimes be this friend to them, or be sort of vulnerable on an equal level with them, because this is a child here that will need to share a lot of their stuff with you. And if they sense that you can't handle what they have to say, or if you're not open-minded enough to hear what they have to say or to receive what they have to say, then they will clam up and their throat chakra may actually close down. I don't know why, but I feel that about them. And so I also feel that it's going to be extremely important for this child, since this is a Page of Swords here, and swords are about communication in tarot. So I feel that it's going to be extremely important for them to exercise and use their throat chakra regularly. That may be how they will self-actualize in this life, actually, because communication is really this child's gift. whether if that's through speaking or through writing or through singing. I feel that self-expression will be a big need for them, and it might help them actualize and develop this gift even more. That freedom of self-expression and that freedom of thinking what they want to think is what they came to basically actualize. But I see that at the very basis, this child has the potential to become a very, very gifted communicator. They may develop an extremely sharp and large memory as well. So I don't know as well if someone here has a primary language different than your partner maybe, or if your partner is from another country, or maybe that you're from another country. But if that's the case, then I see this child adapting through languages very good and being very open to other cultures and different kinds of people. They may have ease at learning multiple languages even, and they may even start talking very, very early on, since this is the suit of sword here. And they may start to solve these little kids' puzzles very quickly. They might become a bit of an intellectual in whatever they will grow up being interested in. I also feel that their hearing might also be another gift that they have. So clairaudience and the ability to hear or pick up on thoughts and messages or certain sounds. And it's going to scare you or catch you by surprise sometimes, because you may realize that your little kid understand things that they shouldn't have been supposed to have understood before a certain age, or that they shouldn't be supposed to remember, or that they shouldn't even be supposed to be picking up on. That was even something that was in your thoughts or in someone else's thoughts. You may even catch them speaking to you almost like an older child would, or an adult even would. And I feel that this is because this child is going to be like a radio, picking up on all of these different signals and always being 3 steps ahead of the time. Because of that, they're going to be so smart, so observant, and receptive to their environment. So let's see now what your child's spiritual journey here on earth is going to be like, and the amazing human being that they are going to grow up as, basically. And that will be with your tarot cards over there. The first card that we have for you is the card of Temperance. Then we have the 3 of Peppermills reversed. So that's the 3 of Wands reversed in a classic tarot deck. It's just because I'm using my little Alice in Wonderland tarot today, because I thought it would be fitting for the theme of the reading, being about children. Then we have the 10 of Flamingos reversed, and that's the 10 of Swords reversed. Okay. And then we have the Ace of Peppermills, or the Ace of Wands. All right, you guys. Okay, so a lot of different messages are coming through here. I just want to start by saying that there is an incredible gift that this child was given at birth with this Ace of Wands. And this gift is going to be the central focus point from which their life will grow around. This gift is going to probably be their universe, their meaning for life, and for some, it's going to be all that they have ever known. Now, I cannot really pinpoint what this gift can be to everyone here, because I'm reading for a lot of different children's energy here all at the same time, but I feel that this is going to be something a bit different about your child. I feel that there is something that is going to be different about your child or future child pal too. Clearly different, which will make their life a little bit more difficult, especially with the 10 of Swords being here right next to this card. there is really this impression here with the Three of Wands reversed as well and the Ten of Swords of having a more sheltered beginning of life, because it's almost as though your child is going to feel like they can't just go out there and enjoy the world normally the way other children do. Why is that? Well, for some it may be internal, and for others it may be external. And god damn it, I don't really want to say that because I don't want to speak it into existence for you. But I almost wonder if this could be some sort of physical or mental disability that they're going to have to deal with that makes them feel or seem so different. Maybe that it's going to be a certain condition that they have to deal with, or certain special needs that they are going to require, and that makes it so that they can't somehow have a normal type of childhood or grow up normally like other kids. But if that's the case for a select few of you, then this child's higher self wants you to know to not worry about you, to not worry, because this difference about them is what is going to later in their life turn out into their greatest, biggest gift in their life. And yes, it's going to be difficult at the beginning though, but this is a really, really, really tough kid that you have here, and they will learn to speak for themselves and to stand up for themselves and rise against the bully in their life. And I don't know why, but I'm really strongly sensing that a curse in their life is something that will turn out later to their greatest gift somehow. I'm not going to lie, I feel that this kid is going to pick up on the fact that something is different about them quite early on, and it may become the big question or spiritual quest of their life. It may as well be what makes the first part of their life feel a little bit more difficult, whether that's their childhood, but I also see that for some of them, that's a very tough adolescence and early adulthood that this child is going to go through with this Ten of Swords reverse. So for some of you, that's your child battling with their own mind through adolescence. That is going to be the very tough challenge. They are going to struggle more during those periods of their life, and then from there, things will get a lot better. But this child's spiritual journey will evolve around why they were born the way that they were, why they are so different, and why, what that means for the type of life that they are supposed to live, basically. Why they were given a particular set of skills or a particular set of conditions that makes life a bit more difficult for them. And with Temperance, their journey will have them mold this affliction or difference into a power, with this Ace of Wands, into a gift, into what makes them so unique, so likable, so special. So like I've said, this is a very special kid that you're going to have here. Wow, okay. I'm even hearing that for some of you, this is going to be an adopted child from another country with probably different physical features than you. And this is probably going to be why they are going to quickly notice that something seems different about them or wrong about them, but nothing is wrong about your child, Batu. No matter what this is, I really feel that nothing is wrong about them, but their difference is what they are going to have to battle through at first. And I don't know why, but I keep feeling like somehow this kid is going to feel wrong for being different. And I'm seeing you picking them up in your arms and reassuring them about those insecurities. So for some of you, it could be that this child will grow up with a different sexual preference or sexual identity, sexual gender, perhaps as well. It could be the case for some of you, but this child will feel that something is different about them, and they're going to battle through it because they will feel as though they don't have an equal chance at the same things at life because of this at the beginning with this Ten of Swords. at the first phases of their life. They may soon feel like the black sheep for this difference that they were born with, and they will have to heal that in order to come out of their shell with this Three of Wands reversed and express this gift into the world with this Ace of Wands. And let me just say that for some of you as well, this is a very particular skill set that your child was given and that they are going to explore very early on. So for example, this could be that they are a virtuoso or a genius in science, or some are you know, being gifted with some very huge artistic skills, just as an example, you know. But they may early on notice that something about them blocks them from having the same chances at breaking through with those gifts the way that most other children have. And so maybe that they're going to be caught sort of in this closet for a while. Maybe because of that disability, like I have mentioned, or because of their different ethnicity, or the different gender, or the different preferences, what they love and identify with as well. That could be what is going to be so different and out of the box about them. But I'm also receiving that for a big majority of you guys, this child has spiritual powers that they may start to manifest very early on, and that they may not understand quite well. They were born with this sort of veil partially lifted. Do you see that? She's opening the curtain there, and she's sort of seeing beyond the curtain here. So there is some sort of veil that was lifted for this child at their birth. And they may hear or pick up or sense the presence of spirits even, but whatever difference they feel is what makes them an oddity is actually their gift. That's what I see with this Ace of Wands. That's what this Ace of Wands is telling me. And they're going to have to accept it and stop fighting it. Stop fighting this gift, basically, or trying to reject it if they want to live a life in authenticity, where they can be themselves and be mentally at peace with this Ten of Swords reversed. So now let's take a look at your oracle cards, you guys, because I want to see if I can get more details about your situation for you. So these cards are going to show me some parental advice for you and this child, and what you will need to look out for with them, basically. And we are starting with a card of rejection. Yeah. I feel like this is going to be a big nemesis in this child's life, will be to overcome the bully in their life and rise up as this little badass pirate here. And this card, by the way, is associated with a crown chakra, with this color gray. And then we have the card of acceptance, which is associated with the root chakra. Then we have nothingness. That's a cool card. Then we have suppression. Then we have listen. And the gift, yeah. See, this is a very gifted kid here. And they're going to try to suppress that for a while, I feel. For the beginning of their life, they're going to struggle with accepting that, accepting their gifts. And then we have the card Say Yes. And it says here, now is the time to open up and receive. It may be somewhat unnerving, but if we are not open to the many good things in life, they might pass us by. Practice saying yes to what you know will stretch you, things you might be a little unsure of. There is abundance all around us. Sometimes we just need to make space for it to appear. That's so true. Big lesson in this child's life. I feel like they are going to actually understand that concept very clearly, and that's probably what the type of energy that they are going to bring you in your life, I feel. All right, so yeah, what did I just say? This is a very special child born with a very special, unique gift. And that's because they are meant to embrace a very unconventional life. But like I've said, look at that. We have a card of rejection and acceptance here. That came out of the deck for you. And so I feel that this is going to be the tough journey of their life that is going to actualize them into this gift. It's that this child will have to learn about self-acceptance and facing their fears of rejection in order to be the flamboyant person that they were placed here to be. If there is one big service that you can make to ease up this process for them, Paltu, is to help them see that this difference is actually a gift of theirs and as something to absolutely love, cherish, and adore about them with this card of the gift and the Ace of Wands. So let them know that you love them either way and that they need an out-of-the-box or unorthodox life because they are actually a special person that maybe wasn't meant for normal life with normal friends and normal occupations, and listen to them. This is going to be so important. Carve that space, that empty space, to listen to them. If they feel listened and accepted for who they are and for their own choices, then they are going to feel free to be themselves and they will stop suppressing themselves. And they are going to feel so loved and comfortable to share more to you. And this is funny because with this card of saying yes, I'm also picking up again on the fact that this is the type of child that will need you to be even more open-minded than you already probably are to what they enjoy, to what they feel drawn to, and to what they will have to say to you, because their gift in your life will be to expand your horizons and to expand you mentally too. And by saying yes to them in their crazy ideas, you know, in their very unconventional passions, and their very thought-provocative opinions, you are going to make them the biggest gift in return, the gift to be loved for who they are, and understanding that you're not going to judge them for loving the things and the people that they want to love, and that even if they shall decide to change one of these days, love will still be there too. This unconditional acceptance is going to be the magic that is going to make their world and their life so much easier, and which will make you a source of inspiration to them. And I don't know if some of you have watched the documentary on Netflix about Doc Antle, but there is a woman in there in that documentary that was speaking, and she almost made me cry, I swear to God, because she was like, she was talking about how she had to let her daughter run away with Doc Antle, right? With this man that she did not approve of and that she thought was a bad person. And she fought her normal mommy instincts, you know, to want to protect her daughter. And she allowed her daughter to have this relationship and to run away with this guy. She didn't think that she had her life in danger or anything, but, you know, she knew that the dude was not a good person, you see. And she said to the camera that she ultimately decided to let her go and to allow her daughter to leave with this man and to not chase her, to not run after her, because she said, if my daughter was to get into trouble and one day be over with this relationship, which she felt that this day was going to come sooner or later, then she wanted her to be the first person that her daughter will call. Shall she be in this sort of trouble, or shall she be ready to be over and done with this and come back home? And she wanted her daughter to know that her mother will be there no matter what, whenever she will need it, arms and home open anytime that she needs, and she wasn't going to be judged but embraced. And I said, wow, that's love. That's love, to let someone make their choices like that, even when it's against any sort of logic, right? And against any sort of better judgment. And I feel that this is a type of gift that my Paltus are going to offer their child. I feel that you guys are going to be that type of parent because of your open-mindedness and receptivity. You guys are going to be the first one that this kid is going to reach to the phone to call at the middle of the night when they get into trouble. And trust me, they will be so grateful to have you as that person that they can go through and whenever they need, and that they're going to feel comfortable calling anytime, any day, you know, whenever something happens in their life that they need, you know, some advice on or a different opinion on. So this is what I see about the energy of your child pile too. And I hope that you appreciated your reading, and I want to thank you so much for having spent this time of the day with me. And for those of you who are curious to see my work, I do offer personal tarot readings online, and the link to my shop as well as my social medias will be down below in the description box. And otherwise, I hope to see you all on the channel again, because I have so many more pick a card readings like that to come soon, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye, you guys. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So today we're taking a look at who your child will be, whether they have come into this world yet or not. And so we will take a look at their personality, their spiritual path here, as well as their personal gifts. So if you're ready, let's get started. Starting out with this page of pentacles here, because you guys felt drawn to this card. And this card is basically representative of the personality or core energy of that child, by the way. And it also speaks about how your child will approach every new beginnings in their life. And what I see here right away is that regardless if they are water, fire, air, or earth sign, it doesn't matter. This is someone that will approach new beginnings in this very practical, pragmatic way. They are probably going to be this child, this almost like parent-child in a sense, child-parent in a sense, where, you know, they're going to be very wise and logical pretty early on. And it made me laugh a little because it almost made me think of, you know, Capricorn and Virgo energy. But again, this is regardless of their astrological sign, you guys. But I'm seeing that your kid or future kid is going to be this very mature person for their age and very responsible in their life quite early on. Almost to the point that they may make their own sandwich, feed the dog, take the car, and drive out of the home to school at 8 years old. No, I'm just joking. But I feel that you are almost going to experience some version of that with them, to where they may feel like the mature adult like child that parents use sometimes. Almost like, you know, like in this old TV show called Desperate Housewives. Gosh, I remember watching that with my mom when I was a teenager because my mom watched that. But for those of you who have seen that TV show before, this is making me think of the energy of Susan's daughter. I don't remember her name, but kind of like that. You know, Susan in Desperate Housewives was always clumsy and up in the air and a bit impulsive, and her daughter was always there to pick up the pieces of her mother's mistakes with her, basically canceling her mother's crazy plans. And she was almost a parent at home with her single mother. It was a very interesting relationship and parent-child dynamic to watch. So this show almost makes me think of that. So if you're someone who is very extroverted, very bubbly, and very jovial, you may notice that your child is almost the parenting you sometimes. So you may be the type of person that is very fun, always on the go, always following your heart, and maybe that your child is almost going to be this parent figure for you sometimes in some way, and ground you back down to earth. They are going to be this very trustworthy, very mature, very reliable and responsible child that you won't have to worry about leaving at home at 10 years old, if you see what I mean. And who is probably going to set the example at home as well. So I wonder right away if this is going to be your firstborn for most of you, because I'm feeling a big brother, big sister type of energy here with this pile. Or otherwise, maybe that this is going to be an only child as well. It may be that this is the reason why they feel like a tiny adult to me. You're probably going to notice that this is a child that grows up faster than most children and that understand things and how the world works and runs a lot faster as well for their age. It's almost as though you know, they may understand finances, how finances work, and how saving money works, or how sex works, you know, at a very, very young age. It's almost as though they're going to skip that childhood phase fast, and it may even shock you to see them grow up so rapidly. Now, this is a child that is going to need the opportunity to take their time and to do things their way. And this is making me smile right now because I've just got the image of a toddler being very serious and almost snapping one of those little tool shovels out of your hands to dig themselves. You know, I suddenly had that mental image of that. So I take that as a metaphor because I feel that this is a child here that needs to experience things by getting very hands-on with them themselves. They need to do certain things themselves in order to understand them right. They understand a lot more by picking things under their own wings, making things by hand themselves, or by picking apart certain things by themselves and try to put them back together on their own. And just like that, they may learn how to become autonomous rather quickly. For some of you as well, I wonder if you had to give birth to your baby alone, or maybe without the father, something like that. Or maybe that you're going to be you know that you're going to be a single parent raising this child. Or again, it could be because of that only child, big brother, big sister energy that I felt earlier. But I also feel that this child is somehow going to feel like a lot of responsibilities rest upon their shoulders quite early on, whether that's conscious or not. One or both of their parents may have subconsciously placed a lot of responsibilities on them early on for them to become this very good, very functional, very independent adult. Or they may have grown up feeling like they had to figure things out fast on their own in order to make it into the world. So you may notice rather quickly that this is not the type of child that is even into child stuff that much. You may notice that they have outgrown certain things in their childhood quite prematurely. They may have this serious, introverted aura about them that somehow lets you know that they are not into the frivolous, yahoo, you know, laughing all of the time, frivolous stuff of life, you see. And it's not that they can't have fun, because see, this little guy here has such a wonderful smile there. But I just feel that when they're smiling, it's because they're really truly feeling this way. You see, it's really going to be sincere, because this is a type of person here that simply cannot pretend. And I feel that their personality will always be older than what their age says about them. And it's almost as though they won't feel comfortable being a child somehow. I just feel that this is an old soul that you will have there by your side, pile 3. Yeah, that's it. This child is a very old soul. They may have had many incarnations here on earth already, and it's almost as though they will take this life very seriously quite fast, because they will feel like there is a big job for them to finish. And so this is why they don't have much time for the fun or for the things that you want them to do. But personality-wise, with this Page of Pentacles, they are going to be very dedicated, very calm, patient, and enterprising. I'm just looking at the shovel here that this little guy is holding. And again, I feel such a responsible, enterprising personality here, where this may be a child that loves and thrives when they are given the responsibility to take care of something by themselves, whether that's planting the garden or helping to train the dog, you see, or cooking the dinner with you, or taking care of the home or of animals. They will love to feel responsible about something important. They may be interested into building as well, with this little tree home being there. And I also feel that this is a kid that is going to spend a lot of time outside, out in nature, or doing sport, and having all of these little things on their schedule to take care of, so that they feel like a grown up, you know, and they feel busy. So yeah, they may be interested into the same things as the grown up adults in their life are, and even want to follow a certain parent or grandparent's footstep, doing the same the same sort of adult stuff, if you see what I mean. And that's because they are a very old soul. I just feel about that with your child strongly, Pal 3. But let's see now your child's spiritual journey here on earth, what it's going to be like, and sort of what amazing human being that they're going to grow up as. And that will be determined by the tarot cards here on the top. And we're starting here with the 7 of Hats reverse, and that's known as the 7 of Cups reverse in a normal tarot deck. Because I'm using my little Alice in Wonderland tarot today, I thought that it will be so fitting with the themes of childhood. Then I have the 9 of Flamingos, and that's also known as the 9 of Swords. Then we also have the Ace of Flamingos reversed, and that's the Ace of Swords reversed. And then finally we have the 2 of Flamingos, the 2 of Swords. Lots of Swords energy. So for when it comes to spiritual gifts, Pal 3, like I've said, I feel like your child had many lives spent here already on earth. And one crazy thing that I'm picking up right now is that they may reincarnate some traits of an ancestor of yours, whether that's a parent, a grandparent, a great-grandparent even, sorry. I feel that this is why I was picking up for some of you that this would almost feel like a child parent in a sense. This child may feel awkward being parented by you or being under your authority somehow, while in fact they will feel like they have parented you in some way before, or like they are much older than you on this earth in a sense. But watch if your child seems to mimic someone else in the family who has passed away, and to maybe ask your parents or your living grandparent for that. Because I'm really curious to know, because they may show similar traits, or maybe even say things that this past loved one used to say, or this passed over ancestor used to say in you. Because I'm hearing that for a lot of people who have chosen this path, your child is going to be reincarnated, a reincarnated ancestor of some sort. Your child may even remember certain things that they used to enjoy or love from their past life, and even be able to tap into the past and past life energy. Like, for example, they may feel drawn to things that used to belong to this ancestor of yours, or they may feel drawn to antiques, or to older music styles, or older fashion styles. Wow, okay. So they may subconsciously remember, with this Ace of Swords being reversed, they may subconsciously remember their old lives. They may even understand how certain old technologies or old things work just because they remember how they used it in a past life. This is such an interesting reading. Wow. Okay, but yeah, watch out for who this child is looking like, and maybe do an ancestry tree with them or for them eventually, Pal 3, because they may feel drawn to these kinds of stuff, like history, ancestry, the old times, and that's no coincidence. That's because their soul is very, very old, and it's already acquainted with this earthy plane, which is why this child's maturity and responsible side is going to show very fast. It's going, it's like they know how to take care of themselves, of the earth, of their own, of their job, before they are even taught to. So for when it comes to their spiritual journey here on earth, path 3, I'm seeing the career of your child having a very big importance in their life. They may become very career oriented, or their career and what they are going to do for a living may become the big question and big insecurity for them. And I know that Swords and Cups card in tarot normally have nothing to do with a career. Well, instinctively, it always depends of the other cards around it, right? Because every card can speak of any subject, right? Even the Swords have some certain things to say about career, and Cups have things to say about career, and vice versa. But what I see with the 7 of Cups reverse and the 9 of Swords and the Ace of Swords reverse and the 2 of Swords is that they may spend the first part of their life trying out many different things and trying many different hats. They may as well seek a higher education or degree with this Ace of Swords reverse and the 2 of Swords, and then switch again. They may, like I have said, follow the footsteps of a particular parent, like follow the footsteps of their father or follow the footsteps of their mother, somebody that they respect in their life, and try to fill those big shoes, basically. Or try to keep up with that person that they respect a lot, or that they place in some form of high importance in their life. They may search for their calling as well and try on many different outfits to see where they fit in and where they don't. So they will struggle sometimes with not knowing where they are supposed to go or who they are supposed to become, and they may lose that. So for those of you who will have this child follow the steps of a grandparent, of a parent, the child may eventually lose themselves by trying to keep up with this person or with this pair of shoes that they are trying to fill. It's funny because a part of them knows who they are and who they are not so strongly. You know, what they love, what they don't love, what their preferences are. There is this very black and white sort of approach to them. But at the same time, I feel that they are going to search where they are supposed to be quite a lot. Because again, your child has had many incarnations here already. And so they have had a chance to already do so many jobs and be in these different roles. So it's almost as though they cannot separate now those old parts of themselves and of who they used to be in those old lives, and that they need to let go with their new sense of selves now that they are trying to build. And I feel that in this life, they came to relax a bit more. That's another thing that I'm picking up here as well. And to not be so anxious about not knowing everything already or having it all figured out already with this Knight of Swords. To learn that it's almost okay for them to get lost or to not know, or to dip their fingers into every pie, sort of, with the 7 of Cups reverse, and to not take themselves and their life so seriously that they lose themselves and their truth, wanting to know everything and having everything settled ahead of time. So I feel that this child's journey will have them to learn how to change their mind and take their time making important decisions in their life, to learn that it is okay to reorientate, to change course, to diverge. Because both the 7 of Cups and the 2 of Swords are cards of choice, basically, and they speak of big life decisions. So I really see here that having so many options is almost going to intimidate them sometimes, with the 9 of Swords right next to the 7 of Cups reverse. But that's because in this life, they really came to build this authority and even power to make their own decisions and standing in that, instead of having society, their family, or their life circumstances choose for them. And from those decisions, they are really learning how to make certain things happen by themselves without having to always ask someone else. They really came to tune in with their own inner voice in this life and to listen to what their own inner guidance has to say, and to learn that there is not always a logical answer or explanation, but sometimes there is also intuition that comes into play of those big life decisions too, right? And that's okay to listen to that as well. So let's go on ahead and see what your oracle cards will have to say now. And those are basically going to show me some parental advice for you with this child and what you will need to look out for with them, basically. So we're starting here with a card of expansion. And this card is associated with the throat chakra because of that color blue here. So yeah, like I've said, I feel that they will be in this spiritual mission to expand their throat chakra, to expand their ability to make decisions and take directions and to stand by that. It's one thing that I'm picking up here strongly immediately with this card. Then we have here the card of balance, and this card is associated with the third eye chakra with that color purple. Then we have the burden. Then we have compromise. Then we have the art of seduction. Then we have keys on trees. And finally, we have set boundaries. And this card says, take care of yourself today, lovely. Let yourself set boundaries. Say no to that which drains you and create space within your heart for your needs to come first. These are necessary practices for your well-being and are not selfish in any way. Be wary of anyone who might try to shame you or taking care of yourself. Sorry. Okay, so this is interesting. I feel that the big lesson that your child is going to make in this life is that they will learn that they don't need to make their life be about doing someone else's vision in order to be likable and to be worthy. That's really what I see with those cards here. They really came to do their own vision, not somebody else's. And I also feel that one thing to really be aware of with them is their need for solid boundaries and for privacy even. But it's going to be difficult sometimes because since this child has had many incarnations here, and they will sort of feel like this very old soul, and they may be picking up on that themselves subconsciously and feel like certain rules that apply to everybody else don't apply to them somehow. But it's going to be important to humble them down sometimes, because wanting to know everything or walking through life like they have already got the answer, basically waiting for the answer to come before making a move even, may lead them astray in their life from their own intuition and their voice and their own power to make decisions. I'm also getting, with this previous Seven of Cups reverse and this kind of keys on trees here, I'm picking up that somehow they may feel like they are missing out on a lot in life because they often get stuck on wanting to make the perfect choice or try everything before they can take a stand and know that for sure something is going to work out for them. I feel like you're going to expand them spiritually, Pile 3, by bringing your child in the arena of possibilities and to feel okay choosing without always knowing the outcome, feeling okay making some compromises and sacrifices sometimes too. So that's a lot of throat chakra activation that you will bring into their life somehow. that I'm seeing here again, teaching them how to express themselves, how to say what they think, how to say no, how to express their feelings, because that's one difficult lesson that we all have to make in this life, is that there are these things that we cannot always control or know beforehand, and we still have to make the learning experience and have to go through the lessons in order to understand the meaning behind them. And that's what I meant by they will need to be humbled down sometimes, in the sense that this rule or of guessing, you know, of trying without knowing, still applies to them again in this life. And you know how we can make decisions without knowing the outcome of it and not regret it? That's through having a solid moral compass and following those values that we have, that we can make those choices without regrets. That's what I came to understand in my own life. And that's what I see as well with this kind of balance here. Balance is one thing that they are going to need to learn. So balancing work with the importance and sacredness of valuable relationships in their life, with this kind of the art of seduction, balancing their will with decision and action, balancing their words that they choose with what they mean, balancing moments of sprints and moments of breaks, balancing logic with intuition and inner knowing, balancing giving and having boundaries. But another thing that I'm picking up too is that you, Pal 3, are going to be a big catalyst and balancing force in your child's life, because I keep feeling that you guys will have these very different personalities probably, and maybe different values in life or different lifestyles, and you both will bring a lot of balance in each other's life by presenting to each other a side of life that is unknown or foreign to the other, but that still adds value in each other's lives. So it will feel like this beautiful spiritual exchange in between you and your child, for sure. So this is all that I'm seeing about the energy of your child, Pal 3. I hope that you appreciated your reading, and I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And for those of you who are curious to see my work, I do offer personal tarot readings online. So the link to my shop as well as my social medias will be down below in the description box. And otherwise, I hope to see you all soon on the channel again, because I have so many more pick a card readings like that that are coming soon, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye guys! Hello Pal 4 and welcome to your reading. So today we're taking a look at who your child will be, whether they have come into this world yet or not. So we will take a look at their personality, their spiritual path and journey here on earth, as well as their personal gifts. So if you're ready, let's get started. So you guys felt drawn by this Page of Wands here, and this card is representative of the personality of your child, but also how your child will approach every new beginnings in their life. And just look how badass that little superhero is. So I can imagine that it's going to be difficult to catch up to this little cool kid. So what I'm picking up for you right away, Pal 4, is that this child of yours is going to be this very big ball of energy and big bright sunlight inside of your life. They will have a lot of physical energy to spend, and they are going to need to move around a lot. They are also going to have this very big thirst for adventures, new adventures, and a lot of action. I feel that this is a type of child that will need a lot of engagement and attention. They take a lot of room. They're going to know it, but their smile and their laugh is so contagious. Because I've just heard this big, sincere, heartfelt laugh in my right ear. I feel that this is most likely a child with an extroverted type of personality that will respond very loudly to things, and that will go and approach people first, and it won't be difficult for you to read them, I feel, because they will express their big emotions as they come. This is not the type of child that will sort of culminate everything on the inside and be quiet or reserved. I feel this is a child here that will be very fun, jovial, and outspoken. And it's making me laugh a little because I'm sensing that this is going to be someone with not much filter either. You're going to see pure expression in action with them that is such at its purest raw form, I should say. I mean, all children are a bit like that to a certain degree, right? That's why we say that the truth often comes out of children's mouth. But I feel that for when it comes to your kid in particular, Balfour, they may hurt feelings a little easily from time to time because of how blunt, direct, and to the point they can be. And it's not that your child will really mean to do that, and usually they won't even know that they are doing that, I guess, but because I feel that this may be the type of child that is just so innocent, so much so that they're not going to realize sometimes that they are being blunt or stubborn, that their edges can be sharp edges sometimes. So I feel that one parental challenge will be to really be good at forgiveness because this is probably going to be a child that is going to be very unfiltered, let me just say, and that says things how it is, you know, and how they see it. So you're going to find out that your kid early on connects with a lot of different stuff from many different outlets, whether that's something artistic or something intellectual or something crafty. I'm just looking at that little superhero costume here. And I am imagining them loving to put all of these different costumes on every day and to be and look colorful. They may adore stories as well, and any games related to role play, especially where we pretend to be someone or something we are not, basically. And I feel that this is because this child in particular will have big dreams, big aspirations, and big goals for their future. This child has huge dreams, and they're going to have this very optimistic, hopeful outlook about life. And that's probably how they are going to embrace every new beginnings of their life too, by the way. With this optimistic, hopeful, head-on, courageous lens. So do you see this little unicorn here and this little dragon over there? They will believe in magic and that anything can happen and is possible if you believe it so. And if you believe in your power enough. One day they may dream about becoming an astronaut, and then the next day they may dream about becoming a superstar that is going to maybe legit save the planet. I feel that they will live through this lens of dreaming, creating, and envisioning. Because that's what the wands talk about, basically. The wands talk about life force energy and about what speaks to us and what speaks to our spirit, basically, on their journey here on earth. So I feel that it will be difficult for this child to be confronted with just facts. They will need a lot of faith, optimism, and conviction in order to ground themselves and in order to keep believing and to stay in their normal vibration, to where you are going to have to be careful sometimes not to pop out their romantic bubble, because sometimes I'm almost getting that they may resent it if you are too down to earth in your approach with them, or if you try to take away their dreams or don't take them seriously enough in their dreams. And I feel that this is because this is a child here that will need to know and love to know that they can beat the odds. They will love and they need to feel basically that they can win it if they believe in it. And not only that, but I also feel that this is a child that is going to live in this realm of possibilities where they may even literally believe in unicorns, fairies, and leprechauns. You see what I mean? They're going to stay that way, by the way. I haven't seen the rest of their cards yet, but I'm getting this impression that this is just someone that was born with the idea of living life fully and of believing in the impossible. A child that wants to look back at the end of their life and realize that they have accomplished truly great, big, magical things, and sometimes they are going to live with that possibility that something or someone can really truly fulfill them or make them happy. And that's how they are going to end up trying many different things early on. They might approach you one day wanting to do a gymnastic class or a karate, or wanting to try rock climbing, or maybe try parkour. They will want to try many different things, I feel. And I feel that when they are going to get their heart broken sometimes, like we all do once in a while, right? Because it's just part of the human experience. But it's in those moments that the mirror of possibility will probably get shattered for them, bringing them back into a reality, because I feel that they will love to remain in this realm of possibilities for when it comes to what they think and what they believe. And they will want you to try this on with them for a minute and to hope with them, for them, like that, for a minute. This is such a beautiful thing for me to feel this card, because I'm getting the sense that this is the type of kid that will probably idealize their childhood and that will want to remain a child forever. And not in a bad way, you know, not in a way where I'm just staying at my parents' house until I'm 30 years old or anything like that, so don't worry. But in a sense that they don't want to become this cynical, boring, predictable adult. They may resent that. They will work very hard at staying forever young by keeping their sense of wonder and excitement for life very alive, by going at the things that makes their heart palpitate with passion. But I also cannot stop thinking at the superhero costume again. It's really popping up to me. So I feel that this is a child that will probably love to save people, to save causes, to save animals, to save anything that makes their heart beat loudly. And trust me, they're going to like it when it beats loudly. I even feel that this is their greatest spiritual gift, to make the impossible possible. They may even be a dream maker of some sort, because they have such a strong gut feeling and willpower, and they are going to often roll the ball exactly in the direction that they want things to go for them because of that. And they are probably going to prove a lot of people wrong about them by beating the odds like that and making things happen with this sort of magician mindset, with this Page of Wands, of this magician mindset of I believed it and so it is. Right? So they will become probably one of the most inspiring manifestors in your life, because that is something that they are being gifted out with at birth, basically, is what I'm picking up here. To effortlessly being able to conjure up a new reality just with their thoughts, their hopes, and their wishes. But let's see now what your child's spiritual journey here on earth is going to be like, and the amazing human being that they're going to become. And this is going to be shown basically in your tarot cards over there. So let's take a look at that. So we're starting with the 5 of Pentacles reversed. That's a 5 of oysters, but it's translated as the 5 of Pentacles in the traditional tarot deck. It's because today I'm using the Alice in Wonderland tarot, because I thought that it would be suiting since we're talking about children. Then we have the 5 of Flamingos reversed, and that's also known as the 5 of Swords reversed. And the next card that we have is Death reversed. And then look at that. Right as I was talking about a magician, he needed to appear, of course. So yeah, we have the Magician. I feel like this is the whole vibe of this person here. This magician for sure. So I just love how he's pulling the rabbit out of the hat here. This is legit the vibe of your child, Palm 4, making all of these great, almost unbelievable things happen for themselves in their life and for other people too. What I also find interesting about your cards, Palm 4, is that there are two cards, number 5 as well, and they're both reversed. So we have a 5 of Pentacles and 5 of Swords, both reversed. And the cards number 5 in tarot, they speak of adversity. They speak of some sort of challenge and some sort of test, basically. But those cards are reversed though, showing me that this is what your child will come out of, forever transformed, with this card of death reverse into this magician upright. So let me just say that your child will be on the spiritual path of becoming a very great fighter and good at winning their own battles. They will understand early on in their life that if they want to survive the world that they grew up in, then they need to come out as the winner of any conflict or any opposition or any big obstacle in their life, basically, with those two cards, number 5. Your child will not seek the easy road in their life. Let me just say that, whether that's with their career or with their relationships or with the things that they want to pursue, when they will set their heart and their mind to something, it will become impossible to stop them. I can see that right away with those two cards, number 5 and death card reverse. They will blaze their trail through the challenges and even cheat the danger or cheat death if they have to in order to reach the end of their goal. So I just want to say that this is an incredible, courageous, bold, and brave being that you're going to raise here. I'm saying that because I feel that spiritually they will crave at the bottom of their heart and at the depths of their existence a life that requires a lot of courage. They will need challenges that are worthy causes. And like I have said earlier, they will want to feel like they have accomplished in their life things that were not easy, things that required ferocity, strength, and tenacity. If you wonder why they are so stubborn sometimes, that's why. If you wonder why they keep complicating things in their life on a subconscious level, that is why. Child does not want to accomplish the easy, mundane things. That's not what I see here. But they want to accomplish the difficult things that will have to summon their will and their inner power and their self-confidence, that can push them to their ultimate limits. And because of that, they are going to develop this competitive side quite rapidly. And they're going to have to create conflict in their life once in a while in order for them to get themselves out there and be the independent, free thinker, magician that they know they are supposed to become. So, you're going to see your child engage in things that push them to their physical, emotional, and even psychological limits sometimes. I would even say that early experiences in their life will have them confront themselves head on and tackle their own limitations in order to come back transformed and more evolved with death reverse. It's almost as though they will take life as a big combat to fight or to survive or to win. And I find it almost interesting because I feel that sometimes you're going to wonder if your child is actually wanting to create more joy, more peace, more harmony in their life, or if they are purposefully trying to create this chaos sometimes that they are going through. And I will answer to that I feel that it's not their purpose in this life to create joy and lighthearted experiences. Now, they may believe that they are. They may believe that they are chasing more happiness and more joy. But I feel that in fact, what they are trying to create is a life filled with this death and with meaning, with this death card reverse. Because the death card is ruled by Scorpio energy and by Pluto. So this child will seek the type of adversity and tough challenges that can transform them. The sort of adversities that give life more layers and more poetry almost. They may even find themselves drawn to the darker side of things in of life, even maybe even drawn to darker souls or darker people. And it's not because they want their life to be a misery or anything like that, but it's just because they love a life that has that complexity to it. And I feel that your child will have this open heart and open arms to the underdogs of this world. They will almost become ferociously loyal to these types of people even. So I feel that you will have to be a bit careful sometimes, because their big hearts may get them involved with dangerous people once in a while. I'm not putting the seed out there to scare you off or anything like that or make you paranoid, you guys, but it's just something that I'm picking up in our cards here. It's just that they are sensitive to people who have gone through very difficult things in their life. They will feel drawn to that. I also want to say with this magician that there is a lot of street smarts that your kid is going to develop quite early in their life. I wonder if this could be because they will live in the city maybe, or maybe live in an environment that confronts them a lot like that. Maybe even that they will have to defeat a lot of bullies in their life as well with this Five of Pentacles and Five of Swords. But I get the sense that they will break out of the mold rather fast, away from other people's expectations, and become a true badass, let me just say. There is also a lot of unbridled passions that they will have to learn how to tame a little more within themselves from the inside, and it will become a part of their biggest life's lesson to learn how to lose and let other people win sometimes even. I know that it sounds like an odd thing to say, but I can feel that with both of these cards being reversed. I'm getting the impression that your child will mostly be in it for the win, and that they will lose very rarely even. Or maybe that they will be living under this impression that they don't have the right to lose a battle, and that they need to always come number one if they want to make it out alive. But I see that their life from their angle will have them needing to wear this armor and become this very courageous fighter quite early on in their life. And I feel that this is because in their childhood, they will be confronted with these kinds of battles, basically, and survival games that will push them to rise as the authority figure in their life and push them to sort of become their own alpha with this magician card. But surely, I feel like what is part of the karmic contract of your child is learning how to lose gracefully and how to not let themselves get beat down by these losses, but to get themselves up and to keep pushing and to keep trying. I feel that this is really part of their journey here, to sort of conjure up that inner warrior inside of them. So let's go on ahead and see what your oracle cards will have to say now. And those are going to show me some parental advice for you with this child, basically, and what you need to look out for with them. So we have here the card of workaholic, and this card is associated with the throat chakra because of that blue color. Then we have the card of guilt, and this card is associated with the sacral chakra with that orange color. Then we have, look at that, we have the card of courage. And I was just talking about that, how I feel like it is part of their mission to rise up as this strong, courageous fighter. How cool. Then we have trust. Such a pretty card. Flower spirit. Sleeping Beauty's dream. I feel like this child is a big dreamer, hey? And then we have, look at that. You can do hard things. And this card says, there are many things in life that we feel we cannot or should not have to do, but we must be careful of what we place in these categories, for maturity often lies on the other side. Take time today to think upon these beliefs that might be holding you back. Are you putting yourself in a box by what you cannot or should not have to do? Wow, yeah. This child really came to learn that they can do the difficult things, for sure. So this is strong confirmation coming through here. Again, I feel that what your child will need the most from you, pal, for is for you to encourage them in their dreams and in their passions, and for you to let them know that you truly, honestly believe in them. That even if they don't always believe in themselves, you are there to believe in them and in this dream, and that they can do the hard things and the difficult things in their life, that they can beat the odds, that they can realize truly difficult, amazing things. They can climb the steep mountains if they want to, and they are capable of it. It's crazy because I feel that this child is going to subconsciously seek a lot of your approval, whether they will be willing to admit it or not. All that they are going to want is to feel that you believe in them and in their power. I don't know why, but this is a lot of self-expression and personal power activation that they're going to need. And I also feel again that you are going to have to conjure up your ability to be able to forgive them, maybe often, because this child may sometimes neglect their relationships or environment a little bit, but that's when they enter this tunnel vision of their personal goals and dreams and what they're looking to realize, and they're going to know that and they're going to feel guilty about it from time to time. But they may become very, very great achievers, but their own personal goals and dreams may become the #1 pursuit of their life above all else very often, even above love. And if they don't evolve or mature, it may sometimes make it seem as though they are being a little bit selfish. And it's going to be important to not take this personally, because again, I don't feel that this kid is going to even realize that they are pushing people away sometimes, or that they are prioritizing themselves sometimes, since they won't be doing it on purpose. They will sometimes create those confrontations with you or in their life, but that's to help them develop their individuality and their independence. But for sure, your child is going to have to learn how to compromise and not take for granted the support, the love, and the blessings that are there to help them. But I truly feel that at their best and at their most evolved state, they will have the potential to become a true life giver, breathing life into other people and life into their life's work. So that is basically all that I'm seeing about the energy of your child, Pal 4, and I hope that you appreciated this reading, and I want to thank you so much for spending this time of your day with me today. And if some of you are curious to check out my work, I do offer personal tarot readings online, so the link to my shop as well as my social medias will be down below in the description box. And otherwise, I hope to see you all again on the channel, because I have so many more pick a card readings like that coming up soon, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye, you guys.